Hello! So the last video got a little bit cut off, so I'm going to include a little bit more about the Consumer Math Project in this final video. You've got Google Classroom to help you, you've got all the information we used in class, you've got everything you need to be very, very successful. Remember, the project is due Tuesday, and we want you to have every part completely done. If you are really struggling with this and you need to turn in your project after having more time, I do have homework club next Wednesday for the last homework club of the year. But this project really is not that difficult. It's 4 paragraphs. We talked about how you can take the work that we did in class and change things around to easily write a paragraph. So I'll highlight that in just a minute. But first, let me share with you again part 5. We should start, in case you didn't get a chance to do that, with the information about how to write checks. They're on the back of check number 109 and 110. And on the bottom of this, you know that you have a couple sample checks that were written to help you. We all were to turn in or to fill in a deposit slip. You're going to put your name here, not my name, and the date. You don't need to sign here for cash back. Remember that we're following the tradition of my Aunt Rose, and she gave me a check for $1,000, so you're going to put $1,000 here. Notice each one of those spaces is for 1 digit. You don't have any other checks, and you don't have cash, you're not taking out any cash out, so the total is also $1,000. So if you haven't filled that in, go ahead and fill that in, but it doesn't need to be in your project. We did this in 4th period where students volunteered things that they wanted, and we followed through the entire project, so I'm going to talk through this relatively quickly. We shared about the Vans shoes and how you multiply by 1.08 and round off to the nearest dollar. So we did that repeatedly. If you have a donation, like to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, that does not have tax added onto it. It would just be for a flat $100, so you can put it in parentheses. Anything that doesn't have the tax, you do not multiply by 1.08. Next, a student wanted to shop for a Lakers jacket at Marshall's. It was $15 cost. Adding tax, it turned out to be $16.20. Again, how you do that? Type in $15. Then you're going to multiply by 1.08. Equals 16.2. Then to turn that into money, that's $16.02, 2 dimes. So it's going to be $16.20. Costco PS4 was $279.99. Then we multiply that times 1.08 equals. Then we have to interpret this again, rounding off to the nearest penny. So it's $302.39. And we followed that same process all the way down. So next, Petco, a hamster was purchased, $15.99. With tax, it'll be $17.27. Off to GameStop for a game controller at $64.99. That turns to be $70.19, including tax. Back at GameStop, an Xbox One S for $249.99. That turned out to be $269.99. And last, I wanted to make a donation. We tried to figure out exactly how much money we had left, and we had just over $180, so I wanted to make a candy donation of $180. I know that when the Optimist Club was giving out candy at Halloween, we used a lot more than that to give out Halloween in the berry area of Arroyo Grande. So that was a good fun thing. Now, we take all these numbers and we wrote the checks. So I'll briefly go through the checks. So we have the Vans store. The things that we're looking for are making sure that you capitalize the names, the proper nouns. So the pay to the order of, that should be capitalized. The first letter of the amount written out in words. And if it's between the tens digit and the ones digit, there should be a hyphen. So like 40-3, 50-8. Then there's the word and you make a fraction over 100 for the change. So $43, and is the decimal point, 19 out of 100. Then you put a line to the word dollars. That was for shoes, and then I used a signature. You always need to sign your name for the bottom of a check. The rest can be printed, but you should use a signature on the bottom line for safety's sake. Next, to St. Jude's, $100 and no change. So you could write NO over 100, or you could write 00 over 100. And that was for a donation. Marshall's was $16.20, so it's 16 and 20 over 100 for the Lakers jacket. Costco, $302. Notice there's no and here. You might say it, but it really, the and is the decimal point, so it's 302 and 39 over $100 for a PS4. Petco is $17.27, so 17 is just written out. For the hamster, GameStop, $70.19. It's written just like this. More with GameStop, $269.99 over 100. You can use the plus sign. You could use the word and or any symbol showing plus. And last, $180 and no over 100 for no change for the candy donation. Okay. We take these pieces and we start off with our check ledger. We also call it a registry or register. We deposited our $1,000. We started with no money and we added $1,000. This is the only time that it's going to be a positive. It's in the deposit area for this activity. So you put $1,000 here. The line is separating the, it's like the decimal point, so it separates the dollars from the cents. So 0 plus 1,000 is 1,000. This gray area is always your new balance. For the vans, it was check number 101. Then we're going to keep writing check number 102, 103, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that is all. You can have up to 108 or 9 or 10 checks, but you can't have less than 8 checks and you can't have more than 10 checks. So the numbers come together pretty easily. You'll see that you write the 43.19 in the white in 2 places, and then you're going to subtract $1,000 minus $43.19 to get $956.81. Then you subtract 100, $856.81. Subtract 1620, and you get $840.61. Subtract 302.39, and you get $538.32. Subtract $17.27, and you get $521.05. Subtract 70.19, and you get $449.86. Subtract 269.99, and you get $179.87. And then subtract, there was some kind of boo-boo that was made here. 179, boo, boo, boo. Did I fix it? Subtract 179 and you get 87 cents left. So you get the idea. You're trying to get all the way down to less than $1 left, and that's your check ledger. And that will be for part 5. The last thing is you want to be grateful. You want to make sure that you say thank you. So I whipped up this quick thank you note on a little card, cute little card. My aunt loves dogs. And I wrote a thank you card. You can, of course, type this out and make it as pretty as you'd like. So you start off by putting a capital letter, Dearest Aunt Rose, comma. Then you indent, thank you so much for my gift of $1,000. That was extremely generous. I spent it all, just like you'd said, and I wanted to share with you what I purchased. I got Vans shoes, a Lakers jacket, PS4, Xbox One S, game controller, and thought then about how giving is a gift. I donated $100 to St. Jude's Children's Hospital and $180 in candy for our local egg hunt. Thank you so much for all you do. I'm glad you're proud. Love, Christine. I ran out of a little space down here. This actually should be lower, so just imagine it down a little bit lower. Love, and then comma, and then Christine would be down below. But you get the idea. That is the thank you note. I think that's everything that you need to know for the project. Nothing else that I can think of that you might need. Oh, let me run through how the paragraph works. It's super simple. We modeled it in class, but let me pull up the papers. Now let me share with you another student's check ledger. We shared this in class also. So you see, you put the deposit in, you have the check numbers, and you just keep subtracting as you're going. And in the end, you're trying to get down to less than $1. We filled in class the student loan calculations, and we worked it all out so that everybody knew what the amount was. The trick to that is whatever number of years of education you need beyond your high school diploma, you'd multiply that times 50, and you'd figure out that would be your student loan payment per month. So this would be for 10 years. All these words are here to help you be able to write your paragraph. So for example, we are using $3,750 per year to calculate our student loans. That's the paragraph beginning for everyone. Then I can use these numbers and paraphrase what's written here easily. I'd start where it says for my career. I'd say for my career, comma, I need to multiply by 10 years, period. That is the total I need to borrow, comma, which is $37,500, period. Then I'd jump down to here, I multiply. I multiply my amount I borrowed, comma, $37,500 by 6%, which is 0.06, period. I get $2,250, period. Then I multiply that by 10 to get $22,500. So basically you're changing the equal signs into words. You're making sure that things make complete sentences and it all makes sense. This will be the total interest I will pay in 10 years, which is $22,500, period. Last, I add the principal, which is the amount I borrowed. Another version of this where we had it just slightly changed. Okay, she'd say, then I multiply that by 10 to get whatever number. Last, I add the principal, which is the amount that I borrowed. The total amount that I borrowed was $15,000. Instead of the plus sign, use the word plus. The total interest of $9,000 is $24,000. Then you modify this a little bit. You say I, lowercase d, divide by 10 years to get $2,400, period. I, lowercase d, divide by 12 months to get $200 as my monthly student loan payment. So you can see that the words that we've typed out in the shells and the flow maps, the things that we've done, are all there for you. You're just going to put them in paragraph format. You want to make sure that you can communicate your math ideas and combine them with your language skills so that you are a clear communicator. Thanks. Have fun with the project. I'm hoping everybody gets an A+, which is a 4 on the rubric. Remember that you're using the rubric, and that'll be the last page of your project. If I can find the rubric. Here's the rubric. So that'll be the last page so that you can write comments on the back. Thank you.